I would like to understand how the health of a person affects the relationships in personal and professional scenario. Lack of communication led to lack of intimacy, and obviously now she started to feel distant. As a matter of fact, what happened is she tried to adjust, she tried to understand, she tried to fix things, but they just grew apart, and mutually then they decided to. The other day I was reading one study online, and it really made me concerned. So, in the world, there are about 1 billion people suffering from vitamin D deficiency.
Wow.
The symptoms could actually look like depression symptoms, physical health, mental health, emotional health, everything is interconnected, and because of physically not being healthy, it's affecting all the areas of life. Now, what is the solution? Is it reversible? What tips you would like to share for people who want to improve their health and who want to obviously improve their relationships as well? Hello and welcome to the new episode of our podcast, From You to You. Here we discuss all the possibilities of becoming the best version of you, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. I am Afreen Khan, an internationally certified yoga teacher and a healthy lifestyle coach. Hey there, I am Shirin Khan and I am a certified life coach. Shirin, you might have noticed a trend since we were in school. Every year in December, we make resolutions. Oh, I'm going to do this in New Year, I'm going to do that in New Year. And every year, fitness goals are, always there in our resolutions.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to lose weight or maybe gain weight, healthy weight, and healthy diet. That is something.
Want to start gymming from 1st of January?
Yeah, actually, I have a friend who owns a gym, and he was telling me in every December and January they have the maximum subscriptions.
Yeah.
Okay, and for a month or so, gym is full. People show up, but as you know, February and March starts, it like goes down.
Of course.
Yeah. So even though they have membership, some of them annual membership, but they don't show up. So, what I'm trying to say here is even though we are very careful, very much careful and concerned about our health, and we want to make healthy choices, but still we don't stick around, and we don't realize that that carelessness or laziness that we carry on in terms of health related goals is also affecting our personal life, or I should call it relationships with your partner, that is personal relationships as well as professional relationships. So in today's episode we are going to talk about this relationship or correlation between your health and your relationships. Especially, I want to cover personal relationships, which is mostly with your spouse or your partner and your family, and professional relationships.
That sounds fascinating. And to be honest, I have never really thought about this before. Health is affecting relationships. Could you tell us more?
Absolutely. So, this is something fascinating, I agree, because we generally don't think about it. Okay, one thing leads to another, and soon we realize that relationships are falling apart, and we don't know what went wrong. And in most of the cases, as per the research, this is your health, because when we say health, it is not just your physical body or physical health that I'm talking about. It is your mental health, which is also connected with your psychological and spiritual health, and emotional health as well. So it's like a wholesome concept about health. which is affecting your relationships in a good way or a bad way. So affecting is mostly a negative word, so we are going to discuss more of that. There was a research conducted at Harvard University, and this research started in 1938. Okay, so this has been the longest ever research that was conducted for human happiness, and their main goal was to understand how human happiness can be preserved, or find ways so that we can be happy. It is a little bit tricky to understand what exactly is giving us happiness. And yes, relationships make us happy, and these relationships with our parents or our family, our partner, children, and even co-workers. So no matter who there is around you,
Yeah.
relationship or healthy relationship with those people makes you happy. So that was the research all about. They concluded that relationships, healthy relationships with other people, makes us happy.
Yeah.
So achievements, wealth, possessions, materials, they are on one side. They might not make you happy if your relationships with your close ones or your near and dear ones are not healthy.
Yeah.
So this is what they concluded. So this says that how important relationships are, and how these relationships are making you happy or affecting overall health, physical as well as mental, for all of us.
Yes, now that we have established how important relationships are with the people that matter to us, I would like to understand how the health of a person affects the relationships in personal and professional scenario.
Human health is directly proportional to the health of relationships. The other day, a friend of mine called, and to share with me her separation, that she decided to separate from her husband for 8 years. Okay, so they were married for 8 years, and I also have met this guy. He is a nice person, he's a good guy, and she was happy. She was happy with him for a long time. So it came to me as a surprise, because they were really happy together. And obviously, out of curiosity, out of concern, I asked her what went wrong. And the way she explained was, in the beginning, everything was okay. Okay, couple of years they were really happy together. And then he changed his profession. Okay, so he got into real estate. And in real estate, you need to do a lot of networking. Okay, real estate business is all about networking.
Of course.
Yeah, meeting people or investors and people who are going to buy the properties.
Clients,
Yeah, the clients. So obviously, once he got into real estate, he made new friends, new colleagues, and most of his time now was being engaged with these people, and he was spending his nights mostly partying and networking, um, different places, clubs, etc. So she understands that, and she was okay with it. But soon, most of the nights he was spending out, because obviously networking was the reason, and that got him into unhealthy eating habits, unhealthy lifestyle. So sleeping late, waking up late, breakfast late, eating unhealthy, eating out mostly during night time. So soon he started to put on weight, and within a year or so, he was like really a different person. Okay, habits changed, weight changed, personality changed, internally and externally. And then they realized he developed hypertension, that is high blood pressure, and obviously diabetes as well. So in general, the overall health got affected. So as the weight increased, he developed anxiety, and they obviously high blood pressure. And with anxiety and high blood pressure, there was lack of communication. They started to fight, and soon, in another year or so, there was like they really grew apart. And there were problems with intimacy as well. Lack of communication led to lack of intimacy, and obviously now she started to feel distant. So yeah, as a matter of fact, what happened is she tried to adjust, she tried to understand, she tried to fix things, but they just grew apart, and mutually then they decided to um, make it official and separate from each other. So relationship kind of completely fell apart. So when she discussed it with me, I completely understood what went wrong. I mean, what happens is when you get into wrong habits, unhealthy habits, you completely develop a pattern, and this pattern leads you to a complete different personality.
Yeah,
And you
changes in all aspects.
Yes,
Physical aspects, obviously emotional aspects, because physical health is not good.
yes.
So I can understand how it might have affected the relationship.
Yes, absolutely. And this is not just him. So, my friend is just one example. And I look around and I see most of the couples going through such problems, especially if they are like in an age group, like a middle age group, then it becomes very, very difficult to stay on the track. And
Yeah.
this gaps of communication leads, one thing leads to another, and people are like, okay, we are growing apart. So that is something which is very common.
This is concerning, and you are right. I also have seen, many people suffering in their relationships, especially personal relationships, because after you have finished work, obviously you have to go back to your family, and you are the most authentic self with your family, and you cannot hide anything.
Yeah.
So I think even if we are trying to pretend that we are okay in front of the colleagues, but with family, if we are suffering, it is very obvious.
Yes.
They understand, and somehow it comes out with the way we treat them or we react to the situations.
Yes.
So I can completely relate. But let's dive a little bit deep in this. What exactly happens? Can you please break it down for us?
Yes. Shireen, actually, different people have different problems, but everything begins with health issues, okay? So, as far as I have studied, and also as per the research, when people get married, when they are together, after, honeymoon period gets over, they get comfortable, okay? They get comfortable, and I have seen many of my clients as well. So, in initial couple of months or a year, they really take care of themselves, but after that they kind of the taking care of themselves part kind of loosen up. So now they get into a pattern which is a little bit careless, taking it for granted. And then obviously, especially if you are working, and if no matter what kind of work that you do, what kind of profession you are into, profession means there is stress, okay, work related stress. And this stress, sometimes if you are mentally strong, you might not really get into that stressful situation, you might not let it take
Get to
control
you,
of you, yeah. But in general, sometimes we cannot avoid it, the stress gets you. And if you are because I was once part of this culture, I was in sales, right? And sales means a lot of stress, and this stress would give me so much anxiety. And no matter how hard I would try, sometimes it was very hard for me to get out of it. So I am anxious at workplace, I come home and I'm still anxious, I'm thinking about it, and next morning again I'm going back to the same place. So this circle of anxiety, it never ends, okay? So what happens is, when we are in a stressful job, uh, anxiety develops, and cortisol level is, obviously cortisol, the stress hormone, increases. And with this hormone, we tend to put on weight, okay? So as weight gain start to happen, people get stressed. So now here we need to understand one thing: because we are stressed and anxious, cortisol increased and weight gain starts to happen. And because weight gain starts to happen, men less but women more, they really get conscious. Oh, I am putting on weight because the dresses they used to wear don't fit, and they look in the mirror and they feel insecure. there is increased waistline. So all these small changes make them more careful and little bit anxious, and because they are stressing over the weight, again the cortisol level increases. So this becomes a cycle. So this weight gain puts lot of pressure uh, psychologically, because now they are getting more conscious about it, as well as physiologically, because now your internal organs are also getting affected, and soon the entire overall health is getting affected. This gives rise to high blood pressure. This gives rise to sometimes diabetes or heart related issues. With high blood pressure, one thing leads to another, and communication problems start to happen.
Of course.
Yeah, so people are not communicating, couples are not communicating. If you are a working professional, same thing is happening, because you are not able to give your 100% at workplace, because you have some or the other health related issue. And obviously, if you have anything going on inside your body or your mind, you cannot deliver. So this is how it starts, and it increases with time.
Yeah, I can understand and imagine how poor health might be affecting the relationships and giving rise to communication gap. Because if you are not feeling well, even if you have, say, for example, body pain because you are extremely tired, and the other person obviously is not going through it, and they don't understand what you are going through, and you don't want to share every time, you don't want to complain that you're not feeling well,
Yeah.
and they start to feel you don't have interest in them, you're not even willing to talk, or maybe you want to hang out with your partner and they don't feel up to it.
Yes.
So it's understandable how not being physically fit might be affecting the relationship, and even in work, what you said. Because if you are at your best health, then only you can perform your job really well.
Yeah.
That gives you mental alertness, as well as it is so much more if your job requires you to be physically fit. Like you're not sitting in one place, you're doing some labor intensive job. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And yes, we have discussed here about weight gain due to stress eating and all other issues that are related to weight gain. But I think weight gain is not the only thing which affects our health, of course. The other day I was reading one study online and it really made me concerned. So, in the world, there are about 1 billion people suffering from vitamin D deficiency.
Wow.
So, I mean, there are many people who are suffering from micronutrients deficiency, but vitamin D is very concerning. Reason being, the symptoms of vitamin D, they could actually look like depression symptoms. And it could break your bones, like literally. If 1 billion people are suffering from vitamin D deficiency, I am sure they are going through symptoms like body pain, they are going through depression, bone loss, they are
Yes.
feeling gloomy. So all these symptoms, vitamin D deficiency is like very small thing. You can cure it by taking regular supplements. But we don't keep a check.
Yeah.
We are not eating healthy. We are not getting enough sunlight because we are working most of the time during morning. We are at the office, right? I mean, small things that we don't take care of about our health, they become big issues. And I mean, it sounds even funny, like, my vitamin D deficiency caused my relationship to break, but this is a reality.
Yeah, see, the thing is, deep down, the reasons are different, and whatever that we are reacting, it is not exactly the same reason. We are reacting a certain way because of some other cause, right?
Of course.
And you are right, it is vitamin D is one of the reasons. It could be any health related problem.
Okay, so yes, like we discussed, physical health, mental health, emotional health, everything is interconnected. And because of physically not being healthy, it's affecting all the areas of life. Now, what is the solution? Is it reversible?
There is hope and there is no hope. Okay, the possibilities are both. Now it completely depends upon the person's, I would say, how conscious or how careful they are. If so, there are two situations. Situation one, where the person whoever was going through health related issues, they did not pay attention at all, and then some major damage happened physically as well as in their relationship. So obviously, like in my friend's case, they separated, and there was obviously, it was a irreversible damage that was done. I also remember one of my colleagues who was facing high blood pressure for more than a year, okay, and he completely ignored it. And I still remember him. He was such a nice guy. He used to click beautiful photos. He was a photographer as well. He was not feeling well for some time, but physically he was okay. One afternoon, he went for lunch, and then we heard that he had a massive heart attack. They rushed him to the hospital, ER, and they performed this surgery, okay, but he went into coma. Yeah. Okay, and he could never come out of coma. Then they took him to India, and there he passed away.
So sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and it made me sad for a very long time. I saw him for 20 days. He was in coma here in Dubai. So, what I'm trying to say is the damage was irreversible.
Yeah.
He was facing problems, he completely ignored it. And you will see so many cases like that. So, what I want to say is even if you feel very slight amount of discomfort,
Yeah.
or you feel like something is not okay, you are not feeling okay somewhere, don't ignore it. If you are careful and you pay attention,
Yeah.
even if you are feeling anything which is very slight and you check what is wrong, in that case, yes, you can completely control the situation.
Yes, you are right, Afrin. And another aspect of this is that if you truly love your loved ones, then obviously you will take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because it is not only you who are suffering when something happens to you. Like the story you told me, I cannot even imagine how the loved ones of your colleague might be feeling. Because seeing someone you love in coma and then passing away is not a good thing, of course. So it just makes me sad. And if you don't want your loved ones to suffer and see you in that situation, you will suffer. Something happens, that is a given. But the suffering that you will cause to other people, I think that is also equally bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it is extremely sad. Okay, and yes, his family suffered big time, his wife, and he had a 2-year-old son. So we can only learn from such experiences, and we can wish the best for everyone. But your life, your body is your responsibility.
Of
Your
course.
health is your responsibility. Yes, your loved ones, your partner or your parents, they can remind you again and again to take care of yourself, but it is your responsibility to do that. And yes, when you are in a great health, great shape, physically and mentally, it's not just that you will enjoy that health, but even your loved ones. So your entire life and everything related to life depends upon great
being
health,
healthy.
you being healthy.
Yeah, true that. I completely agree with you, Afrin, that if you notice slight discomfort in your health, you should immediately take action on that. What tips you would like to share for people who want to improve their health and who want to obviously improve their relationships as well?
Shireen, maintaining a balanced health is not that difficult. Okay, it just needs a little bit extra work and you can enjoy the best health. Okay, so number one tip would be for both the partners to enroll into a fitness program together. Okay, so that way they both can encourage each other and don't get bored. I have seen many clients, many people, they don't like to exercise alone and they need a partner. So it would be a good way to boost each other and work out together. So it's not necessary it should be gym only. Whatever, they can go for dancing together or maybe running, whatever that they enjoy, whatever form of exercise. So they can keep encouraging each other, and that is my tip number one. So number two would be plan healthy meals, prepare and eat together. Okay.
Yeah.
Number three would be practice yoga and meditation at least twice or thrice a week. That will keep them in a better state of mind. Okay, so meditation is extremely important. Even if they can practice on daily basis, that would be great. Then setting goals, even small goals. So let's say losing 4 pounds a month or 5 pounds a month, and 20 push-ups a day. Such kind of small challenges on daily basis to encourage each other. So fifth would be celebrate even if the small wins. That would boost your confidence and encourage you to do more. Compliment each other. That would make your partner happy. So that way you both can encourage each other, communicate in a better way, and achieve the great health together.
That's lovely.
For those people who are looking for work life balance, obviously they need to exercise regularly, maintain healthy diet,
Only I
yoga,
would say.
meditation, everything. So everything goes for them, but there are few additional tips I would like to share. So number one, enough sleep. So no matter how much exercise you are doing, you are eating healthy, but if your sleep is not proper, you are not getting enough sleep, then your body won't be able to process the food or exercise well. Even your memory will get affected. You will face anger issues, anxiety, and lot of problems and health related issues if there is no enough sleep. So make sure you get enough sleep. Okay, minimum 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Number two, keep yourself hydrated, especially at workplace. It is very common for all of us that we get lost in work, in our routine, that we completely forget to drink water the entire day, and we spend almost 8 to 10 hours at workplace. So make sure that you drink enough water. The third thing, and which I feel is extremely important, is watch your company. Okay, so when you are working, and you might have many colleagues, and it is very natural for us to wanting to be friends with our colleagues, and there is no harm in doing that, but make sure that they are not taking you toward bad habits. You get into bad habits and bad routines and bad eating habits, especially because you found a wrong company. Okay, even drinking, alcoholism, smoking, etc. So make sure that your company is not taking you into bad habits. The next tip would be about management of stress, because like we discussed before, when we are working, stress is something we cannot avoid. So you need to make sure that at least once a week, if you are very busy, at least once a week you practice mindfulness, meditation, yoga, and you shed off all that stress which you
Have been accumulating. Yeah.
yeah, right. And the most important is, no matter what it is that you do and you go through in your life, always practice gratitude, because when you are grateful, you reach in a state of mind which is calm and peaceful. And I think when you are peaceful and calm, even if you are going through any sort of problem, you are in a state of finding solution to that problem.
Yeah.
And when you are grateful, you don't compare yourself with others. And overall, because your entire health begins in your mind. So when your mind is in a calm and grateful state,
Yeah.
it is very easy to even control your body and physical health. It is my personal experience as well. Every time I am grateful, I am never angry, I am never stressful, not anxious at all. So when I am practicing mindful gratitude and meditation, I am in a complete happy state of mind, and that's how your health begins. So early morning, learn to practice meditation and gratitude.
Yeah.
So by practicing these small tips, it is very easy to keep a check on your health.
Yeah.
And if you are in a relationship and you are practicing it with your partner, or you are encouraging your partner to practice these things, then I am very positive that you can not only save your health, but also save your relationship.
Wonderfully said.
This is it in today's episode. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed our channel yet, please do that as well. We are also there on Apple Podcast and Spotify. So if you are someone who is into listening to podcasts, you might want to go there and check us out. So see you next week. Until then, keep working on yourself and stay fit.